Jain friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the latest news of the day. Now, Xi Jinping, in an address to his military commanders, has made some very startling statements which will alarm the world. And what he has said, I'm quoting Xi Jinping's talk here. He has said that prepare for worst case scenarios and prepare for stormy seas. The complexity and difficulty of the national security issues we are now have to face have increased significantly, and this is what he said at the party's National Security Commission. We must adhere to bottom line thinking and worst case scenario thinking and get ready to undergo major tests of high winds and rough waves and even perilous stormy seas. Now, what he's talking about is that, China is faced with a lot of threats, and typically what Xi Jinping is trying to do is externalize threats by telling the Chinese people that you are in danger. The problem is China is a danger to the world is not a danger to China. But what is Xi Jinping's game plan? Give me a minute, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll try and decipher it for you. What Xi Jinping is trying to do is tell people of the world that, hey, listen, our military is ready and the enemy is going to invade, which is not the case. So essentially what China has been doing is China tried to invade India, it failed. You're aware of what has happened across the line of actual control. China also tried to invade Taiwan. It wanted to invade Taiwan. When Nancy Pelosi came, they said we'll blow her plane out of the sky and stuff like that. But China backtracked at the last moment. Now the facts here are slightly different. China is taking a beating as far as economy is concerned. China has not grown post-COVID like it was supposed to. A lot of companies are moving out of China. A lot of companies, Tesla is saying that it's going to start production in India. Apple has already moved significantly to India, and all these companies are moving into Malaysia, Thailand, Taiwan, and Korea, and Philippines, etc. So this is where the stuff is going out of China from. And which are the companies that are producing in China? These are essentially American companies. These are essentially European companies. So in effect, look at it from a NATO perspective. I'm going to explain to you from a military perspective. The decoupling of the economy has started. Now, it's still a while that, this decoupling will take place. It's not going to happen tomorrow. Today, China is still the back end of all the global manufacturing. That part is true. But the fact of the matter is, slowly but surely, this decoupling is happening. And the more this decoupling happens, the more it hits China financially. And the more it hits China financially, the more belligerent China will get. This is China giving a military dimension to what is essentially an economic problem. Now, according to some estimates, there are 50 to 60% of chances of China going into recession. So 50-60% chances of China going into recession. The chances of India going into recession are zero. Germany has already gone into recession. And the next in line is probably the United States of America, France, or even UK. This is what is happening in the world. India has zero chances of recession. And this is why China has taken a belligerent military attitude. Now, who's threatening China? Come to think of it. Has India made any comments against China? Has Taiwan made any comments against China? Who has made comments against China? Nobody. This is simply Xi Jinping externalizing a threat and giving a military dimension to an otherwise economic problem. Now, ladies and gentlemen, another news from India is that, we spoke about jointness a few days back and we spoke about theatre commands. What the CDS's office has done, General Anil Chauhan is the CDS, and what he has done is said that there should be joint logistical nodes for the armed forces. Now, let me give you an example. A very simplistic example, but let me give you an example. Let's say there is a fuel supply dump. And let us assume that Army, Navy and Air Force are in the same place. Okay? These are rare, but they do happen. Otherwise, you can say the Air Force and the Army are at a lot of places and they are together, but they have separate ecosystems. There are many ecosystems in which they can be together and they can save cost. Let's say fuel supply. They use the same fuel. Why should they have two separate fuel dumps? They can have a single fuel dump and save on cost and be more efficient. They have similar kind of vehicles, not 100%, but I would say 50-60% of the vehicles are same in the Army, Navy and the Air Force. Yet, they have separate maintenance workshops for all the three. If they have the same location, why can't they have a simple large workshop, a single point of contact for all maintenance? Similarly, supply of rations, supply of ammunition, supply of food. You see, this needs to come together in a single logistics node. And this is what the CDS office has told people to execute on ground. And this is exactly what is being executed. I think exciting days ahead. But again and again, I would like to stress on one point. Before you do physical integration, emotional integration of the armed forces is a must. This, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking about again and again. Emotional integration. When they start feeling as one, they will become one. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back again tomorrow with another fresh news for you. Till then, have a great day.